All right, welcome back to Airport CEO. My name is Deltlead, and today we are going to be continuing to build our little airstrip here. So in the last episode, we set up all the initial groundwork, right? We have our aircraft stands, our taxiway, and our runway here. We've got planes coming in and out of the airport, and we are selling them aviation fuel right here, making a tidy little profit every time we do. So we are in the green. We're making a decent profit now for a small airport. We did take out a loan, which we are currently paying off a small bit at a time. So we've paid off about $50,000 off of it right now. We still have $133,000 to pay off. If I do get $133,000 in loose cash, I'll just pay it off in one lump sum. But for now, the balance of our budget is good. We're making more money than we're spending, so I'm fine where it is right now. Our administrators just finished our commercial license. So if we go over to operations, R&D projects, we have completed this license, which is great. In the meantime, we have the commercial license, so we can start accepting airline contracts. But if you're doing commercial airline contracts, that's when things start to get a little complicated. So one, we need a terminal with check-in desks, a security checkpoint, and all of the stuff that goes with that. And then we need specific boarding desks assigned to each of the different aircraft stands. And I'll get into the explanation of that in a little bit more detail as we go. But basically, we'll take some of these stands and assign them for commercial flights only. And then the rest will be general aviation. And the commercial flights require a little bit more conscious effort to manage. I probably want my terminal building to be about this big, actually. Would be a good start. And that's going to cost a decent chunk of change. So right now we have 30,000, which that's how much 30,000 gets us. So we're going to need probably 100, 120, 200,000. In order to afford that building size. So we're going to let time progress here. I'm going to build up some money as this airport operates. Eventually, we'll have enough money that we can build the terminal, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we have an emergency here. General aviation flight N4209, small weight class, experiencing a bird strike emergency, requires fire truck assistance. Unfortunately, I don't have a fire truck. I'm going to have to refuse this, which sucks because that's going to cost us money. So that's one of those emergencies that can come up. Talked about in the first episode that there will be various emergencies that will occur at our airport, and we've been fined $25,000. That sucks. All right, so we have enough money now. We should be able to build our terminal. And then we'll have a little bit of extra money left over after we build it to actually put all the equipment we need. So the terminal alone is going to cost $153,000, which is pretty expensive. And that leaves us $16,000 left over to equip it. It's not going to be quite enough money, but as we build the terminal, we'll make a little bit more money to fill in the rest. Let's go ahead and deploy our contractors. I'm only going to deploy 20. Can I put down a hangar real quick? So I do have enough money to build a hangar. Let's see if I can throw one of these down really quick. And then let's deploy everything real quick. If I can get everyone on the ground, we might be able to get this done in time. So this aircraft had a mechanical failure, and we'll need to go to a hangar. Looks good, looks good. All right. Hangar is built. It's available. So now this plane with its broken engine will pull into here. And then our emergency incident up here is being accomplished. The plane is inside the hangar now. And it'll actually, I think it's 100 on the stand. It's 150 in the hangar. So it pays better to be in the hangar. So we'll have these two parking lots here. These are going to be for our passengers. So this is our employee parking lot. These will be our passenger parking lots. And then we'll have passenger drop-off all right here. Great. Now we need to start laying out the terminal itself. So, well, let's connect this wall here. And let's add a door to go from the staff zone to the open terminal area. We're going to need to divide the terminal in half. So there's going to be a secure and an unsecure portion. Let's just split it right here. So this will be our secure portion where security lets out. Actually, we'll tear that wall down. So let's go to security. We'll need this all to be the secure zone right here. And then we'll need a security checkpoint right there. And a security exit right there. Now we're going to need a check-in desk. We'll just do one for now. We'll put it up here. And then we'll have the boarding desks, and we need one boarding desk for each terminal. And we don't have enough money. Oh, there we go. One right there. So 3 boarding desks inside the terminal area. Okay. We'll wait till we've saved up a little bit more money because the next thing we need to do is hire staff, right? So we need security officers to man this checkpoint. We'll probably want at least 2, so they'll take turns and shifts. And then we'll want passenger service agents. Again, probably 3 total. And, okay. And we're going to need a service technician. So service technicians are staff that repair things when they break around the airport. And janitors keep the airport clean. Okay. So that's all of our staff, and they'll show up here. So we've got our additional staff members here entering the airport. This guy is fixing up the bathroom. That's great. The janitor is helping. So both these guys are going to fix up our bathroom and get it back into service. In the meantime, we need to actually connect these stands. So there's 2 things that need to happen now. We need to sign a contract with an airline to operate out of our airport. For now, I want to do one of the smaller airlines, so they'll all pay about the same per flight. The higher star ones will offer more flights, but for now, Goose Wings will probably be our first airline right here. So now we can go over to our flight planner. This is where it starts to get complicated. So we can now take flights from our airlines. They're going to offer us contracts for flights, and then we can put it into our scheduler. But first, we need an open stand to schedule flights on. So I'm going to take this aircraft and tell it to go away. I can dismiss it. We'll go ahead and repair it, and then I'm going to make it a commercial stand. Now I need to connect the boarding desk to the stand, basically saying, hey, this stand is goes here. This is the one it belongs to. We're just going to do one initially. The next big investment is going to be emergency response vehicles. We're absolutely going to need emergency vehicles in order to operate our airport. Other than that, it's going to be the jet fuel. So let's go to Jet A1. I want to have this researched because we're going to want to sell fuel to the commercial airlines. So the commercial airlines use Jet A1. General Aviation uses Avgas. They're separate fuels. They need separate tanks and separate trucks. So we'll also need a new fuel truck to go with that. Insufficient. Oh, we just bought gas, didn't we? I was like, where did all the money go? We just bought a bunch of gas, so we're back in the red. We'll be out of the red here in a second. That shouldn't take too long to overcome. Let's see. Hey, we have Jet A1 research. Great. The other thing we can unlock is the Maverick fuel trucks. These are faster, better fuel trucks than the ones we currently have, so I'm going to assign my staff to start working on that. Actually, I'm going to assign 2 to work on this. We do have a flight available, which we're going to accept, so let's put it on the schedule. We'll do 9 a.m. And these flights actually are multiple days. So it looks like this one's 2 days. So today and tomorrow, for $2,500 per flight. So $5,000 total on that individual flight scheduled. Oh, I'm stupid. Hold on. He can't get in because there's no doors. Let's put a door in. Or better yet, let's just tear this wall down. I don't have enough money for a door, but I have enough... I don't have enough money for a door, but I can certainly break this wall down. Okay, so that one guy, 2 guys have come through. 2 passengers have gotten off. So 2 of 2 passengers. That's all we had. Perfect. So they're going to wait to board. There's no other services we're offering right now. Eventually we'll do refueling and then baggage, but that'll come later. Right now I just want to get these planes turned around. The other method of income that we have is cars will park at the airport. So they'll fill up these parking lots, and then actually, shoot, the other thing I need to do, I just realized, is we need to provide a path for people to walk from their cars to the terminal itself. All right, that all is looking pretty good. And I think we've turned around our first flight already. Let's put another flight on the schedule. This one can be at 5 p.m. This one will go out to 3 days, so Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And yeah, we're now operating a commercial airport. Very small. We're not doing a whole lot of flights, but that's okay. So what we can do now is let's accept a few more contracts. So we'll take Jumper and Coast to Coast. I'm going to dismiss this guy and connect him. And I'm going to dismiss this guy. And connect him. Okay, so we have 3 airline terminals now that are operating. And we'll throw doors on these as well. Just throw a big old door right here, right there. And then let's go to our flight planner. So now we have 3 terminals that we can throw flights on. Let's just go to tomorrow. We'll do a 5 a.m. flight. We'll push this back to 10 a.m. Good. And then let's go coast to coast. Has 3. I don't want them all to be showing up at the same time. I want to stagger them a little bit so that my resources aren't all getting bunched up trying to respond to one flight all at once. And I do like to schedule them on the hour, but I guess this one can be at the bottom of the hour. And then Jumper has 2. Do that one at noon. Okay. So that's tomorrow's flight plan. Our flight schedule. Today we just have the one other flight from Goose Wings. And then these will carry out into the future a little bit. And then as new flights come in, we will populate our flight plan. Let's see, what else do we want to unlock? Baggage handling is going to be like the next big thing. Baggage handling is a whole process. But you can make decent money off it. So we'll start unlocking that. I should probably build seating for the other portions of the terminal because right now they're all sharing 1 seat. So we'll build additional seating for everyone. That'll help the passenger rating go up. Because right now it's very low. It's only at 9%. The more amenities we provide the passengers, the happier they'll be. So seating is an amenity. Other things like bathrooms, shops and restaurants once we unlock them, vending machines, decorations, all that goes to the passenger rating, and we'll improve that. So that's our check-in area, and then we could probably build some seating in here as well. Probably some benches outside the terminal for people who are waiting to be picked up. We're starting to make some decent money now just from all the things that we're offering, which is great. That's what we want to see. Let's build some info screens inside the terminal here. That'll help provide information to people so that they aren't as confused. The other thing we need to watch out for, we've got our vehicles. These are all the different vehicles you can have. And then you'll see the number we have, how many jobs are available, and how many jobs have been claimed. We want to keep these green. We want to have at least one extra vehicle on standby for anything that comes up to keep our airport running smoothly. So the other thing we can look at is our flight monitor. This lets us track all the different flights we have on hand and what needs to happen. So this is our passenger status, flight status, and then turnaround status. So one thing we don't have offered yet is a service turnaround. Uh-oh. Power surge has shut down all of our IT systems. Oh, okay. Well, our service technician's going to go get to work then. We don't have many systems, so it isn't actually going to hurt us as bad. It's going to cost us a little bit of money, but that's okay. We have the cash for it. The other thing that we'll monitor, right, is the airline satisfaction. So right now, these are all sitting around 30%. The more flights we turn around successfully and the better we treat the airlines, the higher their satisfaction. The higher the satisfaction, the more contracts they'll offer us. So we want to keep their satisfaction high. Best way to do that is to turn around their planes efficiently. I forgot to turn that on, but let's go ahead and turn on the Jet A1 service. So we're actually going to start selling jet fuel to these guys. So here's our coast-to-coast Saab 340. Sell them a little bit of gas. And then this one has 12 passengers. This is like the larger end of planes that we'll handle. And that's another thing we want to look at when we're taking contracts is what planes they're going to fly. So the Saab 340 is about as big. He's like the biggest of the small planes. Edwards Bay Flight EB38 has an emergency. We do have an open terminal, so let's accept them there. It looks like they had a fuel emergency, so they ran out of fuel mid-flight. So we can take them, and we'll give them some fuel. I think that's all we need, right? We're not accepting their passengers, are we? No. Okay, so we've turned them around. We've managed to handle that emergency. We do have enough money. Let's go ahead and build our fire station. But that's going to get in the way of building it. Yeah, it's fine. All right. Originally, I wanted to have a taxiway there, but it's fine. We're just going to build the emergency services stuff instead. These service roads can cross the taxiways. You can make little intersections here like this. So we'll be able to put that there. And then let me bring some more construction guys on. Deploy another 20 guys to help make this go a little faster. The other thing we can do while we're building is let's expand our parking lot. Okay, so our emergency response station is built. Let's bring on a fire truck. Can't afford. Oh, it's 6,000. Okay, in a second we'll bring on a fire truck. Now we've got it. There we go. Less common are medical emergencies, but we will eventually put an ambulance in as well. All right, we've got new passengers coming in. They're getting checked in. Come over to security, get through security, and then they go to their check-in stand. Great. Let's also build a bathroom. We'll build one right here. We can put down some flooring in this room. And then we'll turn them on. All right, so we've got a bathroom for our passengers. Great. The other things we can add, trash cans to help make sure that the terminal stays clean. We'll add one for each of these check-in gates. The other thing we can do right now, though, is we can get some ramp agents. Let's hire some ramp agents. Now, these guys do stuff for the airlines. They'll do maintenance inspections on planes. They handle baggage. They're the guys that are out on the flight line handling the planes. We do have 3 ramp agents now, which means I can go to operations and I can turn on the ramp agent service round. So what that'll do on our next commercial flight that comes in is they'll go out and they'll do an inspection of the plane. All right. Well, I think that's where we're going to leave this episode. So we've got a decent little airport going. We're a little low on funds, but we are making money, not losing it. So in the next episode, we'll continue to expand our commercial terminal here. We'll add baggage claims and baggage service to the vehicles or to the planes themselves. And then we can start looking at expanding. So one thing I'd like to do is have a second terminal probably, and we'll start doing the medium aircraft. And that's when the game starts to get really complicated, when you're handling medium aircraft. So until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.